Hi everyone, I'm your host Modern Mulan and welcome to IC Stories Manila episode 9. So, ayan, we have a very insightful episode for today as we'll be talking about DFINITY at kung paano tayo makakuha ng mga free Web3 courses or education and become a leading Filipino blockchain developer. So, it's a very jam-packed episode. I hope you guys are ready. And of course, before we start, hello sa mga nag-blow up ng live chat natin, no? Ayan, syempre, si Palangga ICP, hindi pwedeng mawala yan. Hi Palangga, kumusta ka na? Hello. Email Game, hello. Amar, thank you so much for being here. King Irfan, hello. Sophia, hello. Yasma, Dion, and so many more. I'm so sorry I can't read all of you, but we appreciate it. At sa mga team replay natin dyan, if you're watching this at a later time, let us know in the comment section. Say hi, kung taga saan ba kayo, ayan, ikwento nyo sa amin. And if you have particular topics na you want us to cover in the future. Ayan. So, Scout Martin, hello, LFG. Good evening, everyone. Kumusta? So, before we start, of course, let us call in Sir Ape and Crypto. Kumustahin muna natin siya, no? A lot has happened this week. So, Sir Ape, how are you? How have you been?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, Mother Mulan. Yeah, a lot has happened during the past
Mm.
weeks. And of course, yung Web3 Page Festival, di ba, sa Philippines, di ba, kakatapos lang. And
Yes.
yeah. And of course, yung bull or bear debate natin, a Web3 debate together with Biscuela. And
Mhm.
all the other, kumbaga, leading names in crypto
Mhm.
Philippines. So, busy, very busy. Alam mo naman yun, nandun ka rin.
Mm.
And
Good kind of busy.
yeah, good kind of
Yeah.
busy. And if you've seen the highlights actually nasa ICP Manila Twitter channel, so
Mhm.
go visit our channel at Twitter and
Mhm.
yeah, follow us there.
Yeah, ang dami naming puwedeng ikuwento sa inyo, napakarami ring insights during that event, yung Bull or Bear, pero the entire week talaga was jam-packed, with hearing yung perspective nila as investors, as builders, even as content creators, no? So hopefully we can create a dedicated episode for that. So para sa mga mangfo-FOMO lang kami, no? And i-share
Yeah.
namin kung anong mga na-miss out ninyo kasi tulungan tayo dito. Pero seryoso, ang dami talagang nangyari that week. I can't believe na 1 week lang yon sa sobrang
Yeah.
ng schedule natin nun.
Yeah, sobrang busy preparing and
Mm.
everything. So nakakatuwa naman na
Yeah.
very successful yung event. And
Mm.
we get to know yung community actually. Ikaw yung nag-interview, so galing. Good job.
Mhm. Yeah, and first time nating mag-meet nun, no? Sir Abe, what would you say was your biggest takeaway for the whole event?
For me, I think the community really matters.
Mm.
And without what we're doing right now, actually, we're very early, especially sa IC. And
Mhm.
kung ano, alam mo, yung ginagawa natin right now, hindi, wala to if wala yung community. So very important. I
Exactly.
highlighted on the highlights video actually is really the community.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think dun mo mafe-feel sa mga ganong klase ng gathering talaga, iba yung solidarity of everyone and kahit sinong ma-meet mo, grabe yung level of passion nila for the space that
Agree.
we are in. So hopefully, guys, if you missed out on that one, sana ma-meet namin kayo for the next, ang dami yan for sure. I think for next week, meron pang blockchain week, di ba? So
Yeah,
sunod-sunod na yung mga to, definitely, and we hope we get to meet you there. And makapagkwentuhan tayo ng mga ganon for personal. Or maybe tayo mag-set ng sa'tin. Right? Kagaya ng
agree.
mga before. Mhm.
In
Alright.
real life.
So, yes. So, ayun na nga. Napaka jam-packed din ng ating episode for today. So, I guess, hindi na natin papatagalin pa. And you guys know the drill. We'll be having a couple of guests over. Tatanungin natin yung respective na expertise nila. Tapos, make sure to send in your best questions dahil makakuha ng 3 ICP each yung best questions natin for tonight. How many po yung total na pwede nating piliin na questions today, Sir Ape?
5 winners, 3 ICP each. So, teka.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll be giving out a lot of ICP and
Mhm.
if you're starting with the ecosystem, it's a good way to start because alam mo yan,
Definitely.
install ka ng wallet, papadala namin yung ICP nyo,
Yeah.
isipin nyo, meron na kayong libreng tokens.
Tama. Ayan. So, I know everyone's excited kasi grabe na yung chat natin. So, we won't let you wait any longer. Tawagin na natin ang ating first guest. We probably familiar na siya sa inyo. This is Andrew, the Developer Relations Engineer of DFINITY Foundation. Hi, Andrew. How have you been doing?
Hey guys, doing good, doing good. Having fun with SNS1 rollout. It's been a wild ride. How are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Very
We're
good.
doing great, and we're so excited to hear about what you have been working on. So now that you've mentioned it, can you give us like a quick background of what's been happening?
Yeah, so we've been working on the SNS or service nervous system for basically the last year. I mean, it's the
Mm-hmm.
SNS is how the computer realizes its vision of DAOs. It is what the computer was meant to do from the beginning, but it took us a while to get there and develop the technology behind it. And of course, now the ecosystem is a lot larger than it was a year ago, and a lot of incredible developments have happened in the last year. And now we're finally stepping onto the next phase of the computer with SNSs. It's gonna be fun.
Why do you say this is important? Like, why was it important for you guys to build this?
Basically, DAOs or on a computer SNSs will be a complete shift of how online services can run. So, I mean, a
Mm-hmm.
DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, or it lets you create an application that is running on the computer and make it into a DAO that is controlled and owned by the users that are using the application. So you can imagine services like Facebook, Reddit, or Twitter not being owned by a centralized company and that company deciding the future of and the features of that online service, but instead having the community that is using that service be the owner, and then the community itself deciding what features they want and then what benefits them the most. Because these big companies are going to pick the feature set that will generate the most profits for themselves, and not necessarily the most beneficial for the users. And the users can now decide to benefit themselves, and then a lot of the value that is created is given back to the users, because these platforms are nothing without their users. Like that's where the value
Agree.
creation is coming from. And in the
Yeah.
DAO, because the users are the ones holding tokens and making decisions, they will
Mm-hmm.
get a lot of this value back. So I mean, I cannot wait
Mm-hmm.
to see SNSs launching on the computer and having platforms like District, for example,
Yeah.
become a DAO and have it controlled by the users.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Andrew. Thank you for that. You mentioned DAO. I think although a lot of our viewers will be very much knowledgeable on what a DAO is, maybe can you briefly explain what a DAO is? And it will be great to get your thoughts on what a DAO is and its potential.
Yeah. How technical do we want to be? No.
Yeah, feel free. Yeah.
Yeah, a DAO or decentralized autonomous organization is basically a way for smart contracts or a way to applications to tokenize, which means
Mm-hmm.
that a Web3 application would release tokens and for the users and people who participate in the sale, and these
Yeah.
users will then be in control of this application. And moving forward, once a service becomes a DAO, there is no single entity that controls that service. It will be then the users or the token holders, the governance token holders, who
Mm-hmm.
decide on what features to add. So you can think about the SNS as a mini version of the NNS. So if you know how the network nervous
Mm-hmm.
system works, the NNS on
Yeah.
the net computer is basically just one large DAO that controls the net computer. And it's not DFINITY or any other centralized party that controls the net computer. It is all the
Mm-hmm. Hello. I think we lost him.
I think we lost Andrew.
Yeah. Sayang, ang ganda pa man din ng ano, we were there eh, 'di ba? Nasa groove na
Yeah.
tayo. Pero yeah, I
So,
think he mhm,
ang ganda ng sasabi niya because think of it as a DAO is very important kasi
yeah.
isipin mo lang, ICP Manila is community.
Mhm.
I can make it into a DAO wherein sabi natin, the ICP Manila has grown into a real, sabi natin, media service or
Yeah.
I do not know, NFT platform. It can be in the future, actually.
Yeah.
Think of it wherein I can, uh, kumbaga, transport that platform into a DAO wherein
Mhm.
I'm not the only one handling ICP Manila, but everybody else.
The
So
community, tama,
the
tama.
community.
And
So
yeah.
yeah, if and then since it's a DAO, everybody can decide on it. Meaning to say,
Mhm.
what if gawa tayo ng ganitong show? What if gawa tayo ng ganitong NFT? What if
You
gawa tayo
definitely
ng
could. Yeah.
yeah, and the
And I think
proceeds will be
mhm.
shared across all.
Mhm. And I think it really anchors back dun sa main takeaway na shinare mo din kanina, no? It's always going to be about community. So, with where
Yeah,
we are heading now, kaya it's so important kasi aalisin na natin yung mga, kumbaga, governing bodies eh. Alam mo yon, we get to decide, since tayo yung users, it makes sense na yung gusto natin, yun yung masusunod, di ba? So, I think with, with that concept or with that setup, mas buhay ang internet, mas buhay ang Web3 eh, 'di ba? Kasi nga tayo
yeah.
yung users, so it really makes sense na
Mhm.
we have power over it, we have the control over it. Kaya it's really really very important. I think hindi lang masyadong na-realize pa ng iba dahil ayun nga 'di ba sabi niya, how technical should he be? Because it could be very technical and very intimidating with others. Kaya ginagawa natin yung ganito. So
Yeah,
hopefully medyo mas maintindihan din ng ano, ng
yeah.
viewers natin yung goal natin for tonight.
Yeah,
Ayan.
actually, modern Mulan, that's a good point. But think of it, if I'm an entrepreneur, a business owner that providing services here in the Philippines, sabi natin, I was able to create
Mhm.
Facebook, a mini type of local Facebook. Um,
Mhm.
Basically, I can decentralize it and then basically provide ownership across all.
Mhm.
Well, kung sino man gusto mag-invest. But basically, that's the idea.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna put it on a Web3 platform wherein the government, well, ayoko naman sabihin niya, the government
Yeah.
basically will not be able to regulate your
Interfere, yeah.
project. Yeah, isipin mo yan.
Mhm.
And then once it becomes big, sabi natin meron kang sarili mong local na Facebook, it becomes
Yeah.
big in the future. Actually, it will benefit all. It will benefit all.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's a big deal talaga
Mhm.
that we have this SNS technology. Isipin mo rin,
Mhm.
actually, if you think about it, yung mga ibang platforms right now is very much mature. Meaning to say, ang dami, nakapag-release na sila ng token standard nila eh.
Yeah.
So, if
We
you
are at
think
that
about it,
phase now. Mhm.
yeah, we're at that phase we're in. It's so early for internet
Mhm.
computer na right now in tokenization ng internet computer blockchain is just starting pa lang. So we're very
Yeah.
early. Think of that
Very,
opportunity,
very
right?
early. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure
Mhm.
with the recent market situation right now with the FTX,
Mhm.
and ayoko naman i-bash si
Mhm.
Solana.
Yeah.
But, di
Pero
ba,
we have to
Solana,
talk about these things, yeah. Mahirap
yeah,
pag-usapan, mahirap i-bring up, and hindi naman tayo naninira or whatever. We're just, it's a healthy
yeah,
conversation regarding how how we're growing, how we're learning during this time. So yeah, go
yeah.
ahead. What were your
Alam mo na,
thoughts about that?
what I see is, kung ano yung, alam mo yun, nakikita ko right now is,
Mhm.
basically, the Solana is losing ground, and
Mhm.
where they will go to is the next upcoming, kumbaga, um, very technical na blockchain, which is ICP.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
if hindi man lang sila dumating yung mga Solana projects, it's okay lang din
Mhm.
because a lot of projects will be developing within the IC. So
Mhm.
think of that opportunity. I just want to compare as well si Solana. Ilang beses sila nag-shutdown ng blockchain.
Mhm.
Ano yun, nasa news yun, everything, crypto news,
Mhm.
crypto Twitter, everybody knows about
I
it,
think
that
this
they
was,
shut.
yeah, yeah, it was extensively covered. Mm.
Yeah, they shut down the blockchain. Paano nangyari yun, di ba? Paano nangyari? How
Yeah.
come that they're able to just switch, turn off a switch on their blockchain,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
supposedly decentralized? So we're looking
Yeah.
at Solana as being centralized na may backend server sila and it's not really fully decentralized. And again,
Yeah.
another point is, I want to point this, in Solana projects, is basically not 100% on chain. Basically,
Mhm.
only their tokens, yung mga project tokens, are only stored on chain. And basically, yung
Yeah.
front end nila is working. Well, they have to place it in Amazon Web Services and everything. So
Mhm.
I think that's the potential for SNS, and which is Andrew
Yeah.
is here right now. Welcome back, Andrew.
Yeah.
Sorry about that,
Hey,
I
guys.
was trying to
Andrew.
continue the
Mhm.
presentation, but
Yeah.
definitely it will be better if it's coming from you.
So we're talking about DAO and Solana versus, DAO and the IC via SNS. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think are the main differences?
I mean, in both cases, the DAO controls the smart contracts themselves, but on the inner
Mhm.
computer, smart contracts, since smart contracts can serve web and store data, that means
Mhm.
that DAOs on the inner computer will control all of the application and not just a small piece of it that is the smart contract, or like the
Yeah.
token logic. And this will allow, I think, the first time ever in history to create mass market social media services and decentralized
Mhm.
exchanges and
Yeah.
have them as DAOs and have them controlled by their users, and not just the small backend part, but the whole application, including the front end and the data, would be controlled by this decentralized organization. So that's
Mhm.
very exciting, and it before the internet computer, it couldn't have been done. So, and now that we are entering this phase of the internet computer, with launching the first SNS, I think it's a very, very exciting time for the whole ICP community.
Yeah, Andrew, that's a good point. Actually, that I was reiterating it when you were gone, and it has to be 100% on chain. If you think about it, with regards to the fundamentals of a blockchain and being a Web3, it cannot be a hybrid wherein most of the platform is under Amazon Web Service.
Exactly.
Basically takes away the fundamentals why we're here, the Web3. So
But
only IC.
imagine having a decentralized exchange like Uniswap, for example, and someone just decides to stop paying the AWS fees for the front end, and then the whole thing shuts down. Then
Yeah.
how decentralized was it, even though it's controlled by a DAO?
Mhm.
Agree. I've spoken to a lot of projects here in the Philippines, and then most of them have their credit card basically paying on a monthly basis just for their platform to be live. Actually, only a few, only their tokens or their NFTs are stored on chain. So that's what I've been preaching here in the Philippines, and
Mhm.
hopefully, together with right now the SNS technology, which is really, I was telling Modern Mulan that we're really very very early versus the other blockchains, and yeah. Anyway, can you maybe expound more, maybe a bit more technical on the SNS technology? Just going back.
Right. So very technically, it's kind of complicated. So we created an SNS subnet, and then on that SNS subnet, there will be 5 canisters that are already actually live. And
Mhm.
these, I don't know exactly all of them. You have the registry, the root canister, the governance canister, and the ledger, right? And and these are the canisters that are needed for the SNS DAO to control a dApp, which means that these canister smart contracts on the SNS subnet will be the controller of the dApp that you're running on a different subnet. So let's say if district becomes a DAO, then the developer team will give up control, or technically they will remove themselves as the controller of that canister smart contract and give the
Yeah.
controller or make the SNS be the controller. And once the decentralization sale concludes, then and district becomes a DAO, then the token holders or the community will be the controller, or the SNS will be technically the controller of the district canisters, and then they will be the ones making decisions. And actually, let me ask you something as well. How does the Filipino community like the SNS1, or what is the vibe or around it?
Oh, well, first things first,
Right.
there are a lot of questions about it. But one of the questions I got is really very interesting. And having a DAO actually, well, basically creating your services as a DAO, because I've spoken to a lot of entrepreneurs, not only Web3. So having for them be able to have that opportunity to leverage on blockchain is a big deal.
Yeah.
And since I've been mentioning that, well, then again, versus the other blockchains, versus not to bash on Solana, about it being centralized. Remember, Solana switched off their blockchain several times already. How did that happen? So, yeah, those are the things that I've been telling about here in the Philippines. And they're very much interested with it, is gaining
Mhm.
traction. Again, it's still really early because
Yeah.
the Philippine market has really been how do you call this? Really been a focus on the popular ones,
Yeah, and I
basically.
think right now
Mm,
everyone's like game 5 focused, so
yeah,
we're still just building the community towards this specific one.
yeah.
GameFi is a
So
perfect example. We could build SNS games or games
I
that
agree.
become SNSs, and then
Yeah,
you would have the token related to that game. So, and
Mhm.
that's
yeah,
a perfect way to create a play to earn game and have the token that you earn be the SNS
Oh
token.
yeah. Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, that's a good point because there are a lot of projects that are gamifying NFTs here, and they can leverage on this, definitely.
Mhm.
So, anyway, Andrew, yeah, since you mentioned regarding the Philippines or the community in the Philippines, think of it as someone who wants to leverage on the blockchain. I found out about SNS and planning to decentralize my business or service. There are a lot here in
Mhm.
the Philippines. I'm talking to them. I've created a Web3 service because maybe ICP Manila supported them on it. Um, what's the next step? Will there be an ICO? Is there a crowdfunding type of execution that will happen that potential investors should invest in? And what will happen to my newly created Web3 service? How will I get my proceeds? Or again, so many questions. Uh, am I free from any country jurisdictions, tax, etc.?
Now that I can't answer because
Yeah.
each country will have their own laws and own jurisdiction. But getting back,
Mhm.
it is you mentioned ICO, and I want to emphasize this that it is not an ICO. It is very much not an ICO.
Mhm.
In the ICO, there's the after the token launch, people got liquid tokens as the founders and
Yeah.
developers, and then hopefully that they develop what they promised to begin with. But
Mhm.
with an SNS, as you said, you already have a Web3 service. If you want to launch an SNS, step one is you should start building on in a computer and create a dApp that people are interested in. Because if you have a lot of users and you're growing a community around your dApp, then you can think about becoming an SNS or launching the SNS.
Agree.
And the SNS has, I mean, usually you should airdrop some tokens to your community, but SNS also
Mhm.
has this something we call the decentralization sale, in which anyone can participate and put IC or invest ICP in your application. And
Mhm.
once that decentralization sale concludes, then you become a DAO. So it is a way to raise funds, but there's a bit of a twist because the founders that get tokens allocated, they have something called the founder token. So it's and
Okay.
they get locked neurons as tokens and not liquid tokens. So that means
Mm.
that the project developers who created the SNS to begin with are incentivized to keep the SNS around for long term to have
Mm.
their tokens gain in value. Um,
Mm.
while in the ICO days, you could just create an ICO and then you get your funds and you're good to go. You don't necessarily have to develop what you promised to
Yeah.
develop. Um,
Mm-hmm. I
and
think it
also
does
now,
have a better structure now that you put it that way. Yeah.
and also there is a treasury that is kept inside the SNS, the
Mm.
treasury of tokens, which is basically the community. After you become a DAO, then the community decides what to do with that treasury. You can have a
Mm.
second decentralization sale. So that's also one of the
Hmm.
options. Is once you've had a decentralization sale, you raised a little bit of money, you continue
Hmm.
developing, and maybe a
Hmm.
year passes, and the community can decide that it's time to do a second decentralization sale to
Okay.
raise more funds.
Mm.
So it's going to be like a governance.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it is an really advanced on-chain governance.
Mm.
Okay.
Now, with
And
everything that you've laid out, sorry, go ahead, sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was just about to say that with everything that you have described and laid out, I think I speak for everyone when I say that you got us all hyped up for it, and we can't wait. Now, can you share with us like the roadmap? What is the vision of DFINITY Foundation in 2025 to 2030 and DAOs and SNS or in funding projects?
Yeah, let's start with the today and tomorrow, and then we can go to the 5 year. So first, we are
Yeah.
Yeah.
launching
Go ahead.
SNS1, kind of a dress for your
Mm.
soul or test. This is the first
Mm.
SNS that we're launching, and then we are giving this to the community. And we want it's I don't know if
Oh.
you've seen the DApp itself already. We can go to discover that one, and on the Internet Computer portal, we give out updates um, about the SNS1 and how it develops. And basically, we just created a blank canvas of a DApp. It's just two canisters. One is a letter, and then a wrapper canister
Mm.
that is controlled, a black hole letter, that an immutable letter, and then another wrapper canister that is controlled by the SNS. All right, and
Mm.
once yeah, and we are giving it to the community, and we want them to take over. So DFINITY will do a few things after it launches, but then we want the community to start developing, create proposals, and basically do whatever you would like to do with this first SNS. And after that, we are launching OpenChat, hopefully sometime early next year, but of course, no
Mhm.
dates promised.
Mhm.
And OpenChat will be the first real SNS that has an actual DApp that has a lot of users and a lot of activity on it. And if we go 5 to 10 years, I mean, we should just go 5 years. We hope that most of the applications running on the net computer will be SNSs, and they will be
Yeah.
controlled by their users. And if we go to
Mhm.
10 years, we are hoping to flip the script and change how online economies function and move away from
Mhm.
this centralized systems that we are having now, where a board of directors are controlling the application, and the users don't have any say in what they want. And
Mhm.
having most of the large online services that millions of people use, hopefully by the time 10 years pass, that will be uh, completely DAO controlled.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, the internet itself started very, very decentralized, and now for some reason we went into this centralized corner of few big companies controlling everything, and now
Mhm.
we're moving away from that, and we're creating a new paradigm shift of moving away from the centralization and creating these decentralized economies and online services, which I think is very exciting. It's a big shift in how the
Yeah.
internet
Yeah.
functions. It's exciting to be a part of it and see it live.
It really is, and as we keep on mentioning it we are so early in the game, and I'm excited to bring everyone else along for the ride because I think our shift towards this, decentralization, making it focusing on community involvement and even the active stake in the game. I think
Yeah,
these are such powerful pillars to build on. So
I
yeah,
agree.
I'm also very very
Yeah.
excited for what's ahead.
Modern Mulan, can I add? Can I just share my screen quickly so we can
Yes,
get the
yes.
yeah
All right.
inputs from Andrew? Hold on,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if is it
Here.
streaming.
Yes,
There you
yes.
go.
Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, can you tell us more about this and Discover?
I'm not sure which portal is this one, but we have the Internet Computer Portal, which we are planning to run as a decentralized portal itself, so that it is community. I created it initially, but it is community driven, and we are adding more and more admins. And basically, this is the place where we are giving SNS1 updates to the community.
Mm-hmm.
And the SNS1 portal is so far was to claim your SNS1 airdrop through Discover, and it will be later on. We're opening this up, and I'm going to be adding a few admins here as well, and just basically give this whole portal to the community and
Yeah.
have them control the portal. I mean, it should be a discussion for the SNS1 portal. It should be about, it should be whatever the community wants it to be. But I think it
Yeah.
makes sense to have it as a nice place for discussing about what to do with SNS1 and what developments we want. Because I mean, someone can sit down on a weekend and start hacking something together and creating some code
Yeah.
and create a proposal and update the SNS1 canisters. And if people vote
Mhm.
yes on it and people like the changes, then SNS1 will be updated and it should move.
Implemented. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
amazing. That's amazing.
yeah. Do you have admin people in mind? Will it be global, international, and Filipino admin will be can
So
be?
my first idea was to I tweeted something that people should comment down and below what who are the admins that they want to see. So
Yeah.
now
Mm-hmm.
there are like 100 people that were tagged, and
Wow.
I will create a poll on Discover and have people or let people vote for their favorite whatever admin pick, and then. The top five, I'll just make them admins, and then those admins can decide whoever else they want to add as admin. I mean, we shouldn't
That's
have thousands of
amazing.
admins, but we could have, I
Mm.
don't know, we'll see. Yeah,
Yeah.
it develops in, yeah, it's out of our control almost at this point. So it develops however
Yeah.
the community wants it to develop
I mean,
forward.
that's the point. It's out of anybody's control. It's just the community deciding. So
Yeah.
that's really nice to hear that even with the choosing of admins, it's at its core, it's still like DAO. So
Exactly.
that's so good to hear. Mhm.
We're embracing the
Well, but
DAO.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Now let me introduce to you two other innovators here in the Philippines, and let's converse more regarding this topic. So let me call on Melissa, the co-founder and CEO of SparkLearn EdTech, and the other co-founder Harvs, and also the CTO of SparkLearn EdTech. Hi guys. So do you have questions for Andrew?
Hi, good evening here in the Philippines. Good
Evening.
evening to the Filipinos watching our live right now and to the other nationalities out there. Hi. So thank you Modern Mulan and Sir Ape for inviting us, and it's an honor to be with Andrew from ICT. So most of the questions that I was thinking a while ago was already brought up by Sir Ape about the regulation thing. Eh, in every country, it differs. So, for example, if I'm a business owner and I want to build my D app business on top of ICP, what will be the regulation considerations and things like that? It's been asked by Sir Ape, but um, uh, maybe just this one question for Andrew. Uh, how can ICT or how can IC control or let's say limit the issue when it comes to DAO, when the holders of the token accumulate in the early stage and they become whales, right? That's an issue in every DAO right now. So how can ICP, limit or solve that issue? What are your parameters for that?
I mean, there are a couple of mechanisms by which we are trying to defend against this. So one is that the initial token allocation. I mean, all the projects themselves can choose how they want to have this pie chart of who gets how many tokens. But our suggestion is usually to have around a third for the community as an airdrop, around a third left in treasury, and around a third, sorry, yeah, around third in left in treasury, third for maybe that's a fourth, fourth around fourth in treasury, fourth in airdrop, fourth for decentralization sale, and then a fourth for the founders. And this way you have a lot of big chunks already, and even if someone tries to buy all of the tokens, they will only get a small portion of this pie.
Okay.
And the second is because we keep quite a few tokens in the treasury that cannot be bought, only if you vote what to do with them. And if you want to buy up a lot of the tokens from the DEXs, it's basically impossible to buy a large enough portion because it will push up the prices so high that it's practically not feasible to keep buying them.
That's a good point. And I think with, I think my main takeaway as well for everything that you have shared are really how DAOs are going to change, or how they're going to incorporate with the changing landscape of, or the emerging landscape of the web 3. And there are so many benefits to it, and it just paints a positive picture on what we can have in the future. There's transparency and the um the highlight of community building. So Andrew, thank you so much for sharing your insights. And Sir Ape, Harvs, Mel, do you have any more questions for Andrew?
Okay, I have one. So,
Mm.
Andrew, uh, what do you think is since SNS of ICP is a DAO and a governance platform, so what are its unique features and advantages compared to its competitors like Ethereum?
So one of I think the main advantages is that something that I've mentioned in the beginning is that on the internet computer, if you create an SNS or you create an SNS DAO, that DAO controls the whole application, not just the backend or not just the smart contract, because the smart contracts running in a computer serve web. Then you can have the whole. That's if you're running a social media application, then you would have the front end and the back end be served by canisters. And once you create a DAO, then the DAO will control all of these canisters, all of these smart contracts that are running the front end and the back end. And having DAOs where the 100% of the application is controlled by this DAO is something very unique that we haven't seen in any other blockchains. And same is true, for example, on if you have a DAO control the decentralized exchange, you want to have that DAO control all of the application, not just the backend, not just the smart contract logic. You want to control the UI, because if you have decentralized UI, then you run into a single point of failure issue that the developers can just change the UI and maybe steal funds or just take it down if they stop paying the bills for it, which is always a centralization danger.
Yeah, I think it's cool that from UI to UX, it's full on chain on top of blockchain. So on my end, it's my first time hearing a blockchain network having this type of technology because, as mentioned by Sir Ape and Modern Mulan a while ago, some blockchain networks are not really decentralized.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So this is a good, I mean, this is a good blockchain network to build on if you really want to have
Yeah.
a D app.
Yeah, agree. Modern Mulan, would you want to check as well our community questions if we have one for Andrew?
I think since Andrew was so generous with explaining everything from,
Yeah.
making it simple to technical, we have already answered many of the questions that have been sent. But Andrew, I hope you can stick around until the end of the episode. So if there are any more questions that would be brought up, maybe you could answer those. And of course, the other way around, you could also ask questions to Melissa and Harvey regarding SparkLearn EdTech later on. So, are you okay with that, or do you have anything else planned for today?
I mean, I'm busy as usual, but I'll stick around and maybe work in the background.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you very
All
much.
right. Thank you. That was so insightful. We'll talk to you again in a while. Thanks, Andrew. Bye. Ayan. So
Hi,
thank you so much
Melissa,
for everyone
Harvey.
sending in their questions. And thank you, Melissa and Harvey, for your questions and kay Sir Andrew. So now it's time to talk about your baby, of course, SparkLearn EdTech. So
Yes.
siguro before we talk about that, let us get to know you muna. Introduce yourselves,
Yes.
how you got into crypto, and all of those exciting things.
To the community and viewers. By the way, I want to mention I like the T-shirt of Modern Mulan.
Yes. Merch, free merch from from Pochi.
Yeah.
Ito yung
Okay,
una
okay,
kong
go.
tinanong, I think. Right? The first time we met, where's my shirt?
Tama. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sa akin nasa labada, so pagbigyan niyo na.
Kami
Yeah.
wala
So,
pa. Wala pa kaming ICP
Dapat
shirt.
meron.
next time we meet, and
Yes.
Magsa kami
exchange gift
dyan.
Oo.
tayo, ICP and SparkLearn. Mhm.
Mm.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and ayun nga, how you got
Yeah.
into crypto and then how SparkLearn came about.
Okay. So for my end, so I'm Melissa Mesias. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of SparkLearn EdTech. So I fell into the rabbit hole of crypto in 2017 when I was
Oh.
introduced by my friend, si Harbs. Narinig na tong kwento na to, so baka medyo repetitive na yon. So I was introduced by my friend, Jesus. Hindi si Lord ha. Yun talaga yung name niya.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he introduced me to Bitcoin kasi parehas kami at that time we want to have financial independence at a young age. So,
Mm.
nag-explore kami ng other ways to have passive income, how to generate money without um, spending too much or doing too much. Kasi at that
Yeah.
time, when it was 2017, the price of Bitcoin was around 1K USD. And we
Wow.
farmed we farmed it through captchas, faucet. So nag-accomplish kami nung friend ko si Jesus ng mga captcha and yung mga Satoshi faucets to farm sats at that time.
Mm.
And uh, at that time, I was already orienting my friends, my small community here. We're
Mm.
from Albay, Philippines. If you're familiar with the beautiful Mount Mayon volcano. So we're from Albay province and
Bumisita ako dyan.
uh, yeah, si Sir Ape bumisita nung nagkaroon kami ng Bicol Web3 meetup. So ayun, a very yung nung time na yun, nung 2017, small pa lang yung community and I was telling them about Bitcoin, about cryptocurrency. Hindi maganda yung naging reception ko. So I was called some names, called crazy, kababae mong tao.
Mm.
Naniniwala ka sa
Yeah, yeah.
ganyang internet money, magic money,
Mm.
naniniwala ka sa ganyang Ponzi scheme. And then eventually, uh, I entered my full-time job. I was a teacher.
Mm.
So I taught college students in UST, Legazpi, one of the
Mm.
provincial branches of UST. And doon ko din parang doon ako nagkaroon ng time to research more about Bitcoin. And doon ko nalaman na meron pala siyang underlying technology, which is blockchain. So I did it on the sides, and around 2020 when I took my break from teaching, that's the moment I met my co-founders, Sir Rico, Sir Andy, Harvs, and doon ko nalaman na parang, wow, may matagal na palang community dito sa Bicol, sa
Yeah.
Philippines, na about blockchain, about crypto. Masyado akong naging limited. So I entered Sparkpoint. So
Mhm.
si Sparkpoint, I will be sharing my screen para makita din ng mga viewers natin.
Mm.
So Sparkpoint Technologies is one of the pioneer blockchain startups in the Philippines. So around 2017, we were already building. So Sir Rico and Sir Andy were already building on top of blockchain technology. So we have an ecosystem. So we have our own decentralized exchange called SparkSwap.
Mhm.
And then we have Sparkpoint Wallet, which is developed by Harvey when he was still in Sparkpoint. And we
Mhm.
also have a roster of cryptocurrency based games and our very own baby, which is SparkLearn EdTech. So that's how
Mhm.
Sparkpoint and SparkLearn EdTech is intertwined. So,
Mhm.
yung startup namin, we started at Sparkpoint kasi habang nagde-develop kami ng mga blockchain products and services namin dito sa Philippines way back 2017, we were already advocating for education. And we were
Mhm.
already organizing meetups sa dito sa Bicol and in other places. And then
Yeah.
eventually nagkaroon tayo 'di ba ng pandemic. So we
Mhm.
have to pivot to online learning. So that's how SparkLearn
Mhm.
EdTech was born. Kasi hindi na kami makapag-conduct
Mm-hmm.
ng face-to-face educational initiatives namin. So we explored, the possibility of online learning. So we developed
Mhm.
our own MOOC, yung
Mhm.
if you're familiar with like Udemy, mga ganyang
Oh
e-learning
yeah,
platforms.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Spark.
Student ako. No.
So I'll be sharing the our platform naman for SparkLearn.
It's so
I want
interesting
to.
to see. Yeah,
Yeah,
to hear, sorry, how you married yung dalawang interests mo of
yeah.
teaching and then crypto. So now you're
Nakakatuwa.
teaching crypto. Yeah, it's really inspiring. Mhm.
And
Kahit ako,
mm,
ay sige sir, sige sir, go
nakakatuwa
ahead.
pakinggan actually 'tong Sparkpoint, eh. Kasi nga ever since
Yeah.
kanina ko pa sinasabi na yung Sparkpoint talaga OG talaga 'to, eh. Ever since I started crypto, na-follow ko na 'to kay Journey Crypto, 'di ba, yung
Oo.
marketing advisor. Si Journey Crypto nonstop, weekly, daily, Sparkpoint. Ang laki ng community niyo, international, 100,000 na sa Twitter and still growing. Nakausap ko si Andy, 'di ba,
Yes.
nung nandun tayo
Mm.
sa Naga. And yung vision, yung roadmap ay ano talaga napakaganda, idol talaga.
Oo, si Sir Andy and Sir Rico, they started Sparkpoint. It's just bootstrap startup. And
Mhm.
Oh.
the team of Sparkpoint nung wala pa kami ni Harvey, it's like 2 to 3. Tapos pakonti-konti pumapasok na yung ibang co-founders, yan si Harvey, ako, si Medard. And from 10 members way back 2018, 2019, ngayon si Sparkpoint going 40 na siya. So we've been able to grow the Sparkpoint team 2 times, 3 times already. And
Mhm.
we've been building on this space for 4 years. Marami na kaming napagdaanan na bear markets and it's really challenging.
Yeah.
kahit yung mga ibang mga goals namin for our mission, which is to make blockchain technology be mass adopted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mahirap kasi maraming bureaucracy na kailangan pagdaanan.
Yeah.
Agree.
But
Tama, tama ka.
yeah, but step by step, ina-accomplish naman namin yan. It's not easy. It's not a overtime. It's not an overnight overtime. It's not an overnight thing. So we
Mhm.
are here. Sparkpoint, SparkLearn are here to stay. So for SparkLearn EdTech, this is our platform. So you can check out sparklearn-edtech.com. So that's
Mhm.
our it's an online upskilling platform for blockchain technology and Web3 education. So na-mention ni Sir Ape kanina si Journey Crypto. He is one of our first content creators for
Mhm.
SparkLearn. So he developed our first course, which is Cryptocurrency 101. It's a free course.
Mhm.
So for our viewers, you can take that. And that's how we
Yeah,
started. So for
that's
SparkLearn
nice.
EdTech. And then eventually, we just grew our verticals as a startup kasi we encountered a problem when we were in Sparkpoint.
Mhm.
There was a time na hindi kami there was a time na we badly need blockchain developers here in the Philippines locally. And
Mhm.
it's really hard to hire blockchain developers. As
Mm-hmm.
we all know, it's one of the scarce talents here in our space. And
Mhm.
there are statistics provided by platforms like Alchemy na there's only 18,000 active developers in Web3 out of
Mhm.
hundreds and thousands of developers,
Oh yeah.
Web2 developers.
Yeah.
So that's the pain point we're trying to solve here in SparkLearn EdTech. So we have
Mhm.
our blockchain developer bootcamp. So itong blockchain developer bootcamp, it's a online training. So we help Web2 developers be onboarded into Web3.
Okay.
Mhm.
Hello.
Ay, yes, yun. May parang
Is this a video? Oh, I can see that it's watch more courses.
Alin
Do
Sir
you
A.
do you do more of videos in terms of educational?
Yes, we have actually a YouTube channel where
Oh,
we
I
have
saw Journey Crypto there, mentor.
yes, we have there on our channel our short courses. This
Okay.
one, the courses here on our website, it's a full course wherein you can take and learn about blockchain technology.
Okay.
Yeah, I see. So, how do you pick which topics to create these courses on? Kasi napakarami you could with crypto it's so broad and there are just so many aspects to it, right? So, how do you pick which ones most popular ba personal interest, you think na yung need for people? What are the parameters in choosing which specific topics to cover?
Mm. So for the topics, we usually go for which one is the latest.
Mhm.
But we focus also on the fundamentals because we can't
Mm-hmm.
Mhm,
skip
yeah,
that.
okay. Mhm.
So last week I was talking to other community members, some developers.
Mhm.
They were not aware that uh, there were first devs. We have, I mean, Satoshi Nakamoto did not develop or invented the blockchain technology itself. Kasi they have,
Yeah.
ito yung mga nakausap kong devs, they have this misconception, akala nila si Satoshi Nakamoto yung nag-develop ng blockchain. Kasi
Mhm.
dahil kay Bitcoin. So
Yeah,
mga
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
ganyan na ano,
Agree, agree.
I
we
see.
That's
we create
yeah.
Yeah.
educational materials out of that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, Melissa, Harvey, I just want I think this is something that is really personal as well. If you'll check in the recent bull market, there are a lot of Vietnam developers. Nagkaroon
Mm-hmm.
ng boom in terms of developers. If you check the projects, puro yung last name is Vietnam. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to mention Strong, Tong, Nang, or something like that. Obviously, they're all Vietnamese. How do you see us competing? Hopefully naman De La Cruz naman yung mga project owners. How do you see us competing with other countries in terms of blockchain knowledge? I just want to add as well, what is the vision or roadmap for SparkLearn EdTech?
I
Siguro
think
for the
I'll answer this one.
roadmap,
I see.
for the roadmap, si Harbs can answer about the devs, but for the roadmap, we really want to focus on onboarding at least a hundred and thousands of Filipino Web2 developers first. And we're
Mm-hmm.
looking for blockchain networks that can be our partner because we already have multitude of developer communities like
Yeah.
Bicol IT, Web3
Mm-hmm.
Philippines, Philippine IT Org. So marami na kaming network of Web2 developers. We just need a partner for um we need a blockchain network partner where we can help our boot campers, our students build
Mm-hmm.
on
Yeah.
top of a blockchain and train them as technopreneurs. Kasi
Mm-hmm.
technology is really, the star in the upcoming years. So that's
Mm-hmm.
the roadmap. That's the immediate goal of SparkLearn EdTech. So for the Vietnam devs, I think Carbs can answer for that.
Okay, for the yun, sabi ni sir, mga Vietnam devs, puro mga Nguyen, hindi mga De La Cruz.
Oo nga, yeah.
Most likely nag-boom siya nung ano eh, nung when Axie Infinity
Axie.
uh boomed last 2021. Since the developers of Sky Mavis are more on Vietnamese, so the all the Web3 projects focused on onboarding devs in that country. Apparently, our country, uh, more they got onboarded, but more on the users. So marami ang
Yeah.
nag wallets, marami ang kumbaga na onboard sa blockchain technology. A lot had MetaMask and Ronin wallets.
Yeah.
But as a dev, hindi ganun karami yung na-onboard na dev. Kaya yun din ang wino-work on ni SparkLearn EdTech. That's why we have our bootcamps and we focus on yun as Philippines to become a
Mm-hmm.
hubspot for Web3 developers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
RV, thank you for that. But I read an article actually on basically the government of Vietnam being involved in really training blockchain. Do you think it's a factor now in terms of education that the government should be involved?
Definitely. Since at least sila supported ng government, so they have the funds if regardless if the market is down. And
Yeah.
also yun, government also has a lot of networks din in the academe. So
Mm-hmm.
madali ang pagpasok sa universities.
Mm-hmm.
And yun,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully din dito, government din can
Mm-hmm.
have the initiative of
Mm-hmm.
Web3
Mm-hmm.
education in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are very good
meron
points.
tayong ano diyan.
Mm-hmm.
Meron tayo diyan na parang support na nakukuha from the government. So
Yeah.
we have ongoing exploration with Bitskwela kasi
Mm-hmm.
nag-meet kami ni Jiro sa Bataan and then
Yeah.
si DICT may plan siya to they want they want more Filipinos to build nga
That's a
on
good start.
blockchain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even in
So,
Philippine Web3 Festival, I think the Assistant Secretary of the ICT also
Yeah.
came in
mm,
and nag-share
Yeah.
siya regarding this and
Mm-hmm.
the steps that they are taking towards yun nga
Agree.
the involvement of the government in educating for Web3 in general, crypto in general,
Mm-hmm.
no. So
Hi, Modern Mula, I think you're on
I
mute.
think na-mute.
Nakamute.
Na-mute. Baka you
Nawala.
accidentally.
I'm back.
Nawala.
Check ko lang kung nakikinig pa, kung alive and kicking pa kayo. Ayan. So, yeah, so I was saying, they were, ano nga, they want representatives daw from our community to be present sa
Yeah.
mga, ano nila, sa mga sessions, sa mga meetings nila. Para yun nga, na-voice out yung mga concerns natin and yung mga recommendations, di ba? So that's really interesting to hear. I think, ayun, we are very, very early, kaya madami pa tayong kailangan gawin, napakarami pang barriers, no, and napakarami pang mga challenges. But
Mhm.
it's really nice to see na somehow there is involvement, no, and there are
Mhm.
people in the government na nare-recognize na
Yeah.
this early on the importance and the possible impact of Web3.
Yeah. I just want to add, Modern Mulan, Harvey, Melissa, what do you think of the SNS as recently presented by Andrew a while ago, or the IC,
Mm.
Internet Computer Technology in general,
Mm.
being the predominant platform being used by your students, by the developers here
Mm.
in the Philippines? Hope to get your thoughts on it.
Okay, so for me, I think it's cutting edge and kumbaga alternative na ni Ethereum because actually ako I'm already starting to get onboarded in
Thank
the
you, RV.
ICP protocol. I study Motoko because
Oh.
I'm a Solidity developer and
Mm.
I'm continuously exploring other blockchain, and I find ICP is most likely close to Ethereum.
Mm.
RV, we have Motoko Bootcamp. I think I'm gonna put you in. Very exclusive to. Actually, lahat na nag-graduate doon sa first Motoko Bootcamp has been the big names in the IC. To be honest, sila yung big names right now in the IC. Sila yung mga big projects right now. Yun yung first
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Motoko Bootcamp. There's a second Motoko Bootcamp actually that will happen, I think January. Actually, I'm gonna invite them next week to promote it for the Filipino community. That will
Mm-hmm.
happen. So this second Motoko Bootcamp is really big. I think Harvey, I'm gonna put you in on the people behind it. Tayong dalawa. Modern Mulan, Melissa, you can also join if you want. Medyo hardcore to. Hardcore developer bootcamp. And then at the
Mm-hmm.
end of that bootcamp, we will be able to launch our IC, maybe together with the SNS, and really learn from it. What do you think, Harvey?
Sounds interesting, sir.
Yeah, LFG. Melissa, your thoughts?
LPG.
Mm-hmm.
LPG.
LFG.
Oh, I'm game with any type of learning, and based dun sa mga na-share ni Andrew kanina, it's really a good blockchain network, and we're interested to explore more uh
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
in IC with your SNS, NNS. Kasi it's my first time na to encounter a blockchain network that is um spouting or sharing that they're a full decentralized blockchain network. Kasi based from
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
experience in other blockchains, they have the control like the thing you mentioned about
Yeah.
Solana, no? Nagkaroon ng
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
issue with them.
Yep.
Ito yung
Yeah.
interesting, no? So, as educators, at the same, tayo din natututo pa rin. So, it's really a
Agree.
continuous learning, no? So, I think
Mm-mm.
you guys are very fit for your roles here in SparkLearn. My question is, napakarami na rin na, with Web2 ngayon, we have YouTube and there are so many, also, you mentioned Bitskwela, who share the same
Yeah.
vision sa inyo, educating Filipinos, preparing everyone for the Web3. What would you say are your advantages? What can you offer na wala sa iba, kumbaga?
Mm. So our edge in SparkLearn EdTech is that we've been already in the space for how many years already? We've
Mm-hmm.
seen the
Yeah.
ups and downs. starting
Yeah.
2017. We've seen
Mhm.
the trends and all that. We
Yeah.
can share our experiences with our students. And in
Mhm.
terms of our educational content, uh, we have Harvey. We have Harvey. He is leading the technicalities. He's
Mhm.
a experienced developer already, and on my side, I have a credentials in my teaching
Teaching. Yeah.
experience. So
Mm-hmm.
so for us, we are really the good example of the educational technology. So with my
Mhm.
expertise in educational practices and theories, kasi I've been into traditional teaching, and
Yeah.
nakita ko kung gaano ka-flawed yung
Mhm.
traditional educational system natin. And I'm also a believer of tech, and especially mga emerging technologies natin, not just blockchain. So I want these emerging technologies be integrated in education and make
Mhm.
education more inclusive
Agree.
Yeah.
para kumbaga it's education is available for everyone. Kasi yun talaga yung magiging sagot sa
Yeah. Yeah.
karamihan ng problems natin.
That's such a good answer. Yeah, a really, really good answer. Now, would you say yung target niyo for this, is this for beginners, intermediate, or more advanced? Para sa mga, ano,
Yeah,
sa
that's a
mga
good
nanonood
question.
ngayon.
May
So, yun,
prerequisite
the
ba?
way, yan, kasi we already had this first bootcamp nung 2021. So, that's our
Mm-hmm.
first iteration. And doon pa lang, hindi namin na-weigh in yung students na papasok. So, there are students
Mm-hmm.
na who are already seasoned programmers. And there are
Yeah.
some na kahit Hello World hindi pa nakaprint. Kumbaga, they are
Yeah.
starting
Ah,
from
yeah.
scratch. So,
Mm-hmm.
medyo nahirapan kami sa pag-balance. So, that's why
Uh-huh.
yung na ongoing cohort, yung second cohort, we required students na who has basic programming knowledge
Tama. Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
who knows JavaScript para madali yung transition into into Web3 development.
Yeah.
And mag-o-offer naman kami ng full stack developer bootcamp soon para naman ito sa
Mm.
mga starting from scratch,
Beginners.
career shifters,
Oh,
yes, who
yeah.
wants to shift
Mm-hmm.
to programming. And later
Mm-hmm.
on, after they finish this full stack developer bootcamp, they can proceed to the blockchain developer bootcamp. So that's our
Agree.
plans.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
So it's fair
Yeah,
to say, go ahead. Mhm.
yeah, I like the idea where yeah we have students, we have graduating students, they're knowledgeable, but I think a key factor here would be, or a good thing to highlight for SparkLearn EdTech, would be those students who were able to produce kumaga, a certain project, were able
Mm-hmm.
to launch this kind of project, because let's say definitely I see we've been talking to you about it. Actually, we want to have that boot camp as well. We don't want it as a one-off thing wherein we have students who are knowledgeable. But we want it.
Yeah.
We're in. Yeah, there's a roadmap for them. That's the reason why
Mm-hmm.
they want to learn, because they want to develop this. They have this idea. They have this project, and they want to learn the technology behind it. So
Yeah.
something that is, yeah, I think critical as well, especially for us Filipinos, now for them to learn, to have that basic knowledge already, at the same time to have that passion or direction or roadmap or goal why they want to learn.
Yeah. That's also a good point. And I think it would be fair to say na with what I'm seeing sa SparkLearn, because you have like crypto one-on-one. So right now sa mga ano ninyo, free courses, meron na kayong available for beginners, pero yung bootcamps more on for ano na no, for seasoned professionals or yung mga may background na at least. But you're still building towards catering sa mga beginners then in the future. So that's also very, very interesting. And I like what you said. Let me revert back to what you said nung edge ninyo, wherein you've already braved, alam niyo na
Yeah,
yung galawan sa
that's a
ball,
good
sa
point actually.
bear, Yeah, so what would you say is the difference in terms of approach? Kasi we know na kapag bear market, medyo mas maraming doubters, right? And there's significantly lesser interest sa mga tao. Do you change your approach? May strategy ba kayo? Or do you just stay true to, so we're gonna put out these relevant content, parang ganon, and attract the people who are interested?
Okay, so for our strategies naman, ang education kasi it's really a long-term commitment. And with
Mhm.
that, uh, with the current situation that we are in, it's really a good opportunity that we put more educational materials out there
Mhm.
para yung mga
Mhm.
papasok pa lang during this bear market, they
Mhm.
already know how to spot, you know, scams. They know how
Yeah.
Yeah.
to avoid bad actors. Itong mga other e-learning platforms like uh, Bitskwela, Nas Academy, we don't
Mhm.
uh, we we don't treat them as a competitor kasi
Mhm.
they help us with our advocacy also in
Yeah.
educating the community. And I have this concept, personal concept ko lang naman, that we competitors can also collaborate. Like it's a
Correct.
collaborative
Yeah.
competition kung may
Yeah.
Mhm.
ganon, or kung sa
Yeah.
mundo lang, mundo ko
Yeah.
lang.
Yeah.
I mean, it's education eh, di ba?
Yeah.
SparkLearn covers the developers. We can't cover every areas
Everything.
of education out there.
Mhm.
So other platforms can come in and help us. Ang priority
Yeah.
dito sa Web3, sa blockchain space, is to help people understand na this is a good opportunity to learn. Na
Yeah.
don't be disappointed with the
Mhm.
current market prices kasi um in the long run, if you're going to zoom out, uh, if you're going to zoom out and look at the bigger picture, meron pa rin kayong ma-experience dyan na
Tama.
good. So it's not all
Yeah.
about the bear or the
Mhm.
negativities.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, Melissa Harvey, I have a question. Actually, I got landed modern Mulan. Nakita ko lang yung sa comments. May question siya kung available lang ba sa Philippines yung platform nyo? Because nasa Indonesia daw siya, and I believe
Yeah.
many young
I was
Indonesians.
actually, I was,
Yeah, I saw it.
na-feel ko
Nakakatuwa.
yung telepathy natin dito, no? So I was
Yeah.
preparing, ayan siya. So
Feel
this
free to
one is
highlight it.
from
Yeah,
Laila. Yes, so
Layla.
is it only available for Filipinos? Kasi daw nasa Indonesia siya, and I believe many young Indonesians are interested in it. The
That's a good point.
problem is that ayun, yung barrier, no, for the language. So are you also planning and creating for other languages in your platform?
Uh,
Yeah,
for now,
definitely
Mhm.
we're looking into that. Uh, may isang aspect din si SparkLearn EdTech that we are inviting content creators uh,
Mhm.
Mm.
and contributors. Maybe
Yeah.
some Indonesian influencers or content creators can reach out to us and help us. Kasi meron na kaming, may ganun na kaming networks of from other countries naman, mostly sa
Mhm.
Spanish, mga South American countries. They're volunteering to, they want to translate our content para din ma-share doon sa community nila in South
That's
America.
amazing.
And
Yeah.
Mhm.
we're actually global. Hindi lang din kami limited sa Philippines. We
Oh,
Oh.
already
okay.
we already taught students from our first boot camp. They're
Yeah.
from the USA, from South Africa, and Uruguay.
Oh, I see. That's
Imagine
interesting.
nyo
And
yung
I mm,
yung mga Filipinos nagtuturo din sa ibang nationalities.
Very community driven, no? So, that's so interesting to hear kasi doon naman talaga nagsisimula yan eh. There should be demand and interest muna before you provide. So it's really
Yeah.
I bet yun nga dahil baby niyo to, I bet it's so heartwarming to hear these types of stories na ibang klase na yung interest nila and they really want to learn about the space. So here's another good question from Eugene. Revenue is an important aspect for all projects to survive and be sustainable. So in terms of generating profits and revenue to keep this alive, what are your plans?
Yeah.
Ay,
Baka si Harbs. Harbs, gusto mo naman ikaw mag-ano dyan?
Oh, okay. For the revenue, our bootcamp is not for free. So that's our flagship product.
Mm-hmm.
Since me,
Okay.
personally, I am a developer in the Web3 space around
Mm-hmm.
4 years now, starting 2018. So you are
Yeah.
buying uh the mentor's experience in teaching on how to develop dApps, deploy
Mm-hmm.
smart contracts. So yeah, that's one of our revenues, the boot camps. So
Mm-hmm.
we also have our full stack developer bootcamp, which will
Mm-hmm.
come out soon, uh, probably next year,
Mm-hmm.
which is also paid. So, and also we have bespoke uh, bootcamp. So this is our business to business model. So here
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
we train businesses with their employees who wants to learn about blockchain technology and Web3. So that's our revenue models. How
Mm,
about
I see.
uh, Melissa? You- Have I missed something?
Yeah, that's good. That's
Kasi
good.
ako yung business person eh, pero pinapasabak ko na din to si Harbs eh. Para
Mhm.
hindi lang siya limited din sa
Agree.
tech as
Yeah,
CTO.
medyo stutter
But
ako.
yeah, na-cover naman ni Harbs. So yun, we get our revenue from our boot camps focusing on Web 2 and Web 3, and then mostly we have clients,
Mhm.
businesses na gustong pumasok sa Web3, they don't know how to navigate in the space or they want to use blockchain technology. So they get us as consultants. And
Oh, I see.
uh, as a startup,
That's a
very
good.
important naman ang revenue, and
Mhm.
we
Yeah.
keep it lean din. So yung team
Yeah.
namin, kasi nagbabasa ko ng comments dito. May nagtatanong na kung ilan daw kami sa team. So as of now, we're 8. So gusto ko lang mag-shout
Yeah.
out dun sa iba naming team members na present sa
Hi,
ating
SparkLearn
ano
friends.
natin. So we have Jome, and then si Venus. So thank you
Mhm.
for tuning in. Meron din kami mga boot campers
Thank
actually
you.
na nandito din sa
Oh,
ano
wow.
natin, sa
Hello.
live. Si
Hi,
Joseph,
everyone.
tapos
Hi,
si
Joseph. Thank you.
yes. So isa yan sa mga boot campers namin ngayon sa cohort 2. So yun yung
Mhm.
ano namin for our revenue, yung mga
Yeah.
revenue models namin, and
Mhm.
yung team size.
Mhm. So here's another relevant question to follow up on that. Galing kay Spitfire. So magkano naman yung course and training bootcamp if and how long do those last?
Okay,
Tapos
so
sorry,
Yeah.
to,
sige
para
sige.
dire-diretso yung explanation nyo. Personal question ko is halimbawa I purchase a course online, would I be able to access it lifetime na ba yon or may limitation lang?
Mm.
Go.
Okay, so for our blockchain developer bootcamp, the price point right now, we are updating it kasi
Mhm.
we want it to be more inclusive. So
Mhm.
parang iba-bundle namin siya that you have to purchase an NFT. So you just need to check out our website kasi as of now we can't give you the updated price, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the previous cohorts, the boot campers paid around, in peso, it's around 10K to 15K. And
Mm.
then meron pa
Oh,
kami
it's a
mga
good
early
investment. Yeah.
may mga early bird promos pa kami, group discounts. So,
Mura na
yun
yan.
yung ano niya. Yun
Yeah.
yung price point namin before.
Mm.
And when it comes to the duration of the bootcamp, may improvements din kami. Kasi when we started cohort 1, it was
Mm.
around 4 months, 4 to 5 months. Kasi
Mhm.
introduction to blockchain technology, introduction to NFTs, pati yung develop ng smart contracts. In-integrate namin lahat yun sa cohort 1, kaya medyo matagal. But yun nga, meron
Yeah.
kaming mga pain points na na-identify ni Harvey, katulad ng mga hindi nakapag-catch up. So we decided to separate yung mga introductory courses to the advanced. So yung cohort 2, it's 3 months. And then, mag-open kami ng cohort 3 first quarter ng 2023. It will only be 1 month na lang kasi based din sa nakita namin na pacing ng mga current blockchain developer students namin. Ang bibilis nila, ang gagaling nila, like natapos nila lahat yung modules kasi yung modules namin hybrid approach siya. So meron kami mga pre-recorded videos doon sa website namin, and then meron kaming live one-on-one mentoring sessions with Harvey and
Yeah.
with other mentors. So yun din yung
Mhm.
differentiation namin sa ibang platforms na nag-o-offer
Yeah.
ng smart contract development courses. Sa amin, sa SparkLearn EdTech, you get one-on-one
Mentoring.
live
Mhm.
mentorship. So
Yeah, sobrang
talagang
important nun eh.
focus.
Oo.
Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah. That's a really good one. And I think laking edge nun. Kasi iba pa rin yung may napagtatanungan ka, 'di ba? To clarify
Mm-mm.
everything and meron nagga-guide sa'yo. So I think that's a really key component sa SparkLearn, no? So that's nice to hear. And meron tayong question dito for
Ay,
Harvs.
wait lang, Modern
Yes,
Mulan.
go
Parang
ahead.
may
Go, go.
nakalimutan ako dun sa question mo na yung access, when it comes to
Oh,
access.
yeah. Is it a lifetime
Oo.
access or ano?
It's not a lifetime access. 1 year siya kasi the industry moves fast. So kailangan
Agree.
din namin
Yeah,
mag-update ng syllabus, ng
that makes
curriculum.
sense.
So
Mhm.
1 year, you have 1 year access
Mm.
para balik-balikan mo yung content, kahit yung mga
Yeah.
activities na ginawa mo.
Oh, okay. So, ayan, the next question is from Scout Martin. So, medyo mahaba-haba to. Nag-send siya ng MMK niya. sabi niya, Sir Harvs, magkakaroon ba ng SparkLearn in universities or college tour para magkaroon
Good
kayo
point.
ng event tapos i-introduce niyo yung crypto at Web3 sa college students and professors. So, kinwento niya yung ano niya, yung life niya. Ayan, basahin natin. Sayang naman yung type niya, 'di ba? Dear Ma'am Charo, sabi niya, my brother is gusto niya aralin at mag-invest sa crypto. Kaso dahil sa work niya, wala siyang time para magbasa o manood kung ano ba talaga ang crypto, kung saan maganda mag-invest in anything. Ang tanong is, paano nyo maituturo ang crypto at Web3 gamit ang SparkLearn sa ating mga kababayan na sobrang busy pero interesado sa crypto at Web3? Like, magkakaroon ba kayo ng bus SparkLearn tour na nag-iikot sa bawat municipality para magturo? Ayan.
Nice.
Ganda
Thank you,
idea.
Scott Martin.
Thank
Galing,
you.
kumpleto.
Thank you, Scout Martin. Grabe yung kwento mo.
Okay, hello, Scout Martin. Sorry, nag-ano ba yung camera ko? Parang nagbe-blink.
Kanina. Pero
Oh.
ngayon, okay na.
Yeah, pero okay na
Okay
siya
na.
ngayon. Mhm.
Sige. Sige, una yung first question, yung sa universities or college tour. So, mostly, meron na kaming mga networks ng mga universities dito. Last time, nag-visit sa amin yung mga, kasi nag-masters ako dati sa VU and may mga kakilala ako doon na faculty who are taking doctorate in information technology sa Cordilleras. And yung mga classmates nila pumunta sa office namin and I introduced them blockchain technology. They also went to BBC. Kumbaga, they are attentive din naman sa mga events namin related to blockchain. Kaya good networks din itong mga nasa academe. So later on, we will conduct mga school caravans in the next year din. Tapos, ano pa yun? Chinek ko yung starred. Ay, ano nga yung isa pang question?
Yeah, I think
Di ba
kung
marami?
magkakaroon ng pupunta kayo sa caravan and kung magkakaroon ba ng parang sa mga municipalities, gano'n, parang bus tour na kayo yung pupunta, kayo yung lalapit.
Gandang idea yun, ah.
Yes, oo. Yun yung sa school caravan namin. Yun yung ano niya.
Doon kasama na
mag-highlight
doon,
niya.
no? Yeah.
Yep.
Ayun, Scout Martin, sana nasagot namin. And hopefully yung kuya mo malagyan din ng panahon, no, para magbasa. Kasi you don't have to finish one module. Sabi nga ni Melissa, 1 year naman yung access natin dyan. So maybe a couple of pages kung kaya niya, no. And I think everyone in crypto would agree na kapag nag-start ka na, nakaka-addict. Parang sobrang interesting niya na mapipeak talaga yung interest mo, no? So, it's not gonna feel like work. It's not gonna feel like the usual studying. You're gonna enjoy it so much na hindi mo napapansin na, oh, nakailang oras na ako nagbabasa nito. And it's gonna be even relaxing somehow, no? So, Scout, I hope na answer namin yung question mo. And good luck sa crypto journey ng kuya mo. So, this one, sabi ni Venus, gusto lang niya mag-hi. Hi, Venus, shout out.
Oo,
Kamusta?
ano
Thank you
namin
so much
yan,
for
marketing
Venus.
specialist.
Oh, I
Back-end
see, I see.
back-end na
Thank
writer.
you.
Galing yan na writer.
Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Napaka-active niyo sa chat kanina. Hindi ko alam paano ko
Actually,
isingit. Pero ayan.
thank you, Venus.
Hi. Hi, Venus. I hope you're enjoying our episode. So the next question is from Josh C. I think nabanggit natin to ng very light kanina, but let's dive deeper. So currently, technology is changing every second. So is SparkLearn EdTech afraid kung magkakaroon ba ng lags in your teaching? I know you mentioned na ina-update ninyo, right? So how often do you update and parang ano ba yung requirements kumbaga sa change? Does it have to be drastic or parang kahit konting change lang nag-update talaga kayo?
Okay,
When it
regarding
comes
dyan sa...
to tech, sige, go Harbs. Madaldal talaga
Ay,
ako,
sige.
kaya
Okay.
minsan hindi na lang ako nag-iisip, nagsasalita na ako agad. Go Harbs.
Okay, so yung technology talaga is rapidly changing. So, example na lang sa bootcamp namin, may mga times na yung ni-record ko yung bootcamp na yun months ago, may mga deprecated ng library. So, yun, from time to time, nag-update ako. Meron naman kaming dedicated Slack channel. Tapos yun, anticipated naman namin na we are in a new industry, Web3, that is still new. Around for a decade, existing for a decade, around 12 years, ganyan. So, talagang marami siyang room for improvements pa. Also, yun, on top of blockchain din, we are also exploring other technologies din that surrounds it, kay Web2. So, yun.
And of course, yung ICP, of course.
Yeah, yun nga eh. Hopefully, you can also add ICP eh. Ang galing, Sir A, lagi na tayo magkasama.
Nice
Ramdam ko na
tayo.
yung ano natin.
Masyado na tayo matagal magkasama.
Oo nga eh.
Same
Pareho na
wavelength.
talaga ideas. Tama.
Yeah.
So, sobrang exciting nito, no? And, ayun nga, we are still so early and I'm excited to see ano pa yung mga i-add ninyo. Now, do you have events na you wanna share or maybe you want to promote yung next bootcamp ninyo, your courses? Let us know how sa mga viewers natin ngayon, what are your socials, saan nila kayo pwedeng hanapin?
Okay, so for the social, I'll just be requesting our viewers na if you want to be updated with SparkLearn EdTech, please follow our Twitter handle, which is at SparkLearn ET. So please give us a follow para updated kayo kung kailan namin i-open yung third cohort namin for the Blockchain Developer Bootcamp.
Yeah.
And yung mga upcoming collaborations din namin with other e-learning platforms na na-share ko kanina. And other than that, yun lang naman. Baka si Harvs may gusto i-add.
Okay,
So,
so
iwan
sa
ko lang.
24th, bukas, I'll be paneling sa BBB, sa Draper Startup House, Bitcoin, Beer, and Bit Stories. So,
Yeah.
yung ano na yon, panel na yon is a recap of the events that happened this
Nice.
past week. So, gaya ng sabi nyo kanina, it was jam-packed. Actually, si Sir
Yeah.
Nelson nag-invite yan sa amin sa Bull and Bear, kaso
Mhm.
na-invite din kami ni Tezos para sa workshop. So, nag-assist din ako dun.
Oh, yeah.
Blockchain
Bawal
workshop din ni
sabihin yung
Tezos.
word na yan.
Sayang.
Bawal
Ay,
sabihin yung
sorry.
word na yan dito sa channel na to. Joke lang, joke lang.
May ano naman
Sorry,
tayo,
sir.
Sir A. May collaborative competition naman.
Joke.
Oo.
Sorry, sir. Tapos, yeah, so, bukas siya on 6 p.m. You
Nice.
can visit Draper, Facebook page ni Draper, to
wow.
Sa
see the
Makati,
event.
yeah.
Okay, yun man lang.
Madalas din tayo dyan
Well,
dati.
yes, good luck sa mga
Good
events
luck.
ninyo. And ayun guys, sa lahat ng pinaprepare ninyo, no? So sabi ni Joseph dito, we have to share this one. Based on his experience daw, sa SparkLearn, once na mag-start ka na isang module, malalost track ka ng time, ma-realize mo na lang, natapos mo na lahat, no? Ayun nga. So, may enjoy nyo talaga to guys. If you haven't delved into crypto yet, ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ito na talaga yung time. Napakaganda mag-position ngayon, lalo na bear. Para nabanggit nga ni Mamel kanina na kapag mag-bull market na, nakaposition na tayo. No? So, we know how to spot na yung mga scam during that time. So, this is really, really the very best time to learn. So, ayan, maraming salamat po. Hello din kay Jomay. I think part din ng ano nito.
Yes.
Tama ba? Best student niya daw.
Jomay.
Hi, Jumay.
Yeah.
Hi, Jomay.
Hi,
Hi, Jimmy.
Best student.
Hello.
Thank
Oo.
you. Thanks
May
so much,
exam
Taga
ka
saan
ba?
ba si
guys,
ano?
everyone.
Na-curious lang ako, taga saan kaya si Spitfire? Para just in case,
Actually nga,
pwede
no?
namin
May
Spitfire?
prices.
makita. O yung nagtatanong kanina about.
Yeah.
Puntahan
Baka
ka
may
daw nila sa
Twitter,
bahay
sister.
mismo. Oo. At saka si Scout
Spitfire.
Martin, send nyo lang po yung address ninyo at kakatok sila
Address
mismo doon.
niya. Oh.
Oo. Send nyo lang. Ayan.
Magkapit-bahay lang pala kayo.
Oo. Sa
Address ko sa
Mindanao daw siya.
Mindanao.
Sure.
Nice.
Ayan.
Layo.
That's,
Nice.
that's nice. Sana mapadpad din kami
Mindanao.
dyan sa Mindanao.
Dapat
Sabi
yan,
ni
dapat.
Venus, bibukid ng blockchain developer bootcamp si Joseph. Wow! That's
Vivo
so good
Kid.
to hear, Joseph.
Very good, Joseph.
Sige,
IC.
Yes,
hopefully
IC ang
din
next.
IC, we can collaborate then for bootcamps kasi
Yep.
yun nga, we want sa SparkLearn din to
Yeah.
advocate first mga technopreneurs.
Yeah. That's the
Talaga yung
plan.
mag-build.
That's the plan. Nasa roadmap ko siya. So, we'll do that. We'll make it happen here in the Philippines.
Sige.
Yeah, and hindi
Yes.
malabo kasi grabe nga yung gap now for learning. Napakaraming mga lumalabas ngayon pero there's still so much na we need to fill. So thank you, Melissa and Harvey, for all that you do, for
Thank you.
taking care of the education part for crypto, especially sa mga kababayan natin, and of course sa mga sa ibang bansa din na ginagawa ninyo. So again, thank you so much, and for spending time with us here talking about your passion. We hope to have you here again next time. Siguro we can invite yung mga Bibo kid ninyo na
Agree.
nakatapos, no? So that we can hear from their end naman. Kung
Sure.
what's it like
Okay.
studying with SparkLearn. So thank
Error
you
daw yan
so
si
much.
Harvs.
Question, Mother Mula, si Andrew ba is still there?
Yes, go. No, I think Andrew had to go na. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
kukornerin na lang natin siya next time. Babawi daw siya sa inyo kasi nagtanong kayo sa kanya. So, i-ready na niyo yung mga questions niya for you. Yeah, so next time we'll have him back and then we'll have a more casual conversation regarding just the market and your opinions on some things. So yeah, again, thank you so much for being here. We hope to have you back. So everyone, make sure to follow them on their socials. And if you have more questions, you can reach out to them doon. They'll be very much happy to answer. Again, Melissa, Harvey, thank you so much. Hope to talk to you
Thank you,
soon.
Din. Thank you
Bye.
so much.
Thank
Thank you,
you
Mother
very much,
Thank
Mulan,
you.
and thank you,
Melissa.
Sir
Thank you
Ape.
very much, Harvey. Talk to you
Have a
again
nice
soon.
day. Bye,
Thank you kayo
everyone.
Thank you.
din.
Bye.
Bye. Ayan. So, Sir Ape, naku, napakaganda talaga ng topics natin for
Nice.
today, no? And
Very nice.
nakakahawa talaga yung energy. I think sa lahat ng ano natin, yun yung pinaka-excited ako about is yung iba yung passion nila eh. As in, matutulog kang nakangiti kasi wala,
Yeah.
yun nga, yung overall vibe nila na napipick up mo din, no? So, what would you say are the strongest points or natutunan mo with Andrew and SparkLearn?
A lot actually for SNS. That's something that we need to bring awareness to the people. Very critical yon because it's
Yeah,
technology that really kumbaga kailangan malaman ng mga tao as much as possible. And it's very critical because for me, I believe in it. Something, ito yung future na papunta, kung saan papunta tayo in terms of Web3. And
yeah,
integrating it naman with SparkLearn EdTech, we need to kumbaga incorporate din yung learning yung mga educators sa
correct.
Web3. So yeah, that's the
Yeah.
reason why they're here also para to scale yung teaching and learning sa community.
Yes. And minsan nga, ayan, no, napakaraming ideas. Even with them, di ba, nagulat sila na meron palang ganito na binibuild ang DFINITY. So,
Mhm.
it's interesting to see how we all receive information. And I think with AMAs like this, yung mga free courses, yung mga bootcamps, yan talaga yung mga kailangan natin para makapag-relate tayo ng mga ganitong klase ng information. Ayan. So sabi ni Scout, more Filipino guests daw. Oo nga, 'di ba? Iba yung
Oo nga, no,
connection
this is
din
the
pag
first
Pinoy.
Filipino guest.
Oo. So hopefully more, yes, definitely
Yeah,
more
let's do it
Filipino
more.
guests. Mhm. So, ayan, we're so happy na you guys enjoyed today's episode. So, maraming salamat po, no, even sa mga SparkLearn
Yeah.
community members, sa core team,
Thank
sa
you,
mga
community.
students. Maraming salamat po. And next time, sana makasama namin kayo dito. Si Venus, si Jomay, ayan, si Joseph. Sana makakwentuhan din namin kayo of your
Yeah.
POV for SparkLearn EP. So, yeah.
Modern Mulan,
Sir
one
Ape,
last. Yung
go ahead.
five winners ba natin? Correct me if I'm wrong. Eugene, Josh C, Scott Mortis, Spitfire, and Venus? Si Venus or si Joseph? What do
No,
you think?
not si Laila. Yung ito nasa list ko. Si Laila,
Ah!
si Spitfire, yes,
Ah,
si
okay, okay.
Eugene, and si Scout, and Josh T, I think. Yeah. Again, Laila,
Josh C.
Spitfire,
Oh, yeah. Tama.
Eugene, Scout, and Josh C. Ayan. So please DM
Message.
ICP Manila sa Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. Walang message, walang price.
Grabe yun. Pag-message din ako, baka makasingit ako ng prize. So, thank you, Sir Ape. Maraming salamat for tonight. Do you
Thank
have any
you.
other announcements or thoughts na you wanna impart with our viewers?
Next week, Philippine Blockchain Week. So we're finalizing something. We'll keep you posted
See you.
on Twitter. See you as well, Modern
Yes.
Mulan.
See you again. Ayan, I'm really excited. I think my side event, correct? For
Yeah, that's
ICP.
what we're finalizing right now. Yep.
Yeah. So we'll post that, guys, kung makakasama kayo, no. We would love to meet you there. Interviewin namin kayo. I actually saw na yung sa Twitter yung highlights. I haven't seen the entire video yet, but I'm excited to see it. So yeah, hopefully makabonding din namin kayo dyan. All right, thank you everyone. Maraming salamat for staying here, for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed, and congratulations to our question winners. Ayan. Thank you everyone.
Thank you very
Have a great
much.
night.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Ayan. So, again, maraming salamat po. Napakasaya ng kwentuhan natin, no? Iba din talaga kapag meron tayong mga Filipino guests. So, rest assured na mag-i-invite pa tayo ng napakarami. So, next week nga po is Blockchain Week. Kung wala pa kayong tickets, if you want 50% off, you can use the code Mulan. I think nasa Facebook page ko din yan. So, makikita nyo lahat ng perks, lahat ng events, no, yan. So, pa-FOMO na kayo and hopefully ma-meet namin kayo doon. And sana marami kayo natutunan regarding ICP, DFINITY, and SparkLearn for today. Thank you, everyone. I hope you guys can join us sa next episode natin. And if you're not following us yet sa mga social media accounts, we have them listed in the description box below. And please feel free to leave a comment ng mga ideas ninyo, what you learned about today's episode, ka-end ng ating live stream. All right, thank you everyone. Have a great night. Bye.